Okay guys, hey, welcome back to part 4 of the Pin Turning 101 series. And in this video, we're going to be talking about pin kits. We're going to be talking about unpacking and inventorying your pin kit. We're going to talk about the anatomy of a pin, the terminology, the different parts of a pin. We're going to be talking about the importance of following your pin kit instructions. And then finally, a brief word on pin kit metal platings. So sit back and relax and join with me. Let's get started. Okay, let's talk a little bit about pin kits. So when I buy a pin kit from the store, ordered online, they're normally going to come in these little Ziploc bags. And for this demonstration, what I've chosen is the SLIMLINE pin. Here's a picture, here's an example of one that I made a while back, and this is made out of zebra wood. These pins are great for beginners. The kits only cost a few bucks, and they make great Christmas presents. You can make a lot of these. I would definitely recommend starting with this particular pin kit called SLIMLINE. Now the bag, so what does the bag contain? The bag contains two things: all the parts that go with the pin and a pin kit instructions. So what I like to do when I first get these, I like to pull the pin kit instructions out of the bag. And first I just want to verify and make sure that in fact I do have the SLIMLINE pin kit instructions. Most of the time these come in the bag, but if they don't, no problem. You can go to the pin kit website and you can usually download them as a PDF from the website. Next, I like to just go ahead and empty out all the contents of the pin kit, pull the pin kit instructions back out, and I like to do a quick inventory to make sure all my parts are here that are supposed to be here for this particular kit. Now, we talked about pin blanks in the part 3 video, but these are, in almost all cases, there may be some exceptions, these are going to be sold separately, okay? And same goes for the pin kit bushings. In this case, the SLIMLINE pin kit takes three bushings, and these are typically going to be sold separately as well. We'll talk about that a little bit more here in a minute. Now what I'm going to do is that I've done my inventory. I'm going to put all this back in the bag, because if you don't do this, you're going to end up losing your pin parts. They're going to roll off the workbench or the table, and you may never find it again. So just make sure you put that all back in the bag. Don't throw the bag away. Okay, let's briefly talk about the anatomy of a basic pin. And this is a SLIMLINE pin kit. And let's start from the front. This front part we refer to as the pin tip. This next part is the front tube. That's going to be your front barrel of the pin. This is going to be the center band, the center point of the pin. This is the rear pin tube, which will be the rear barrel of the pin. And this is the cap, which fits on to the end of the pin. It threads through the clip, which of course the clip is used to hold it in your pocket. And then this is the ink refill. All of these pins are designed so that you can take the pin apart and replace this when the ink goes out or gets low. And then of course you have a pin mechanism. In this case it's a twist mechanism. Some pin kits are click pins, so you might have a click pin mechanism. Again, depending on the kit that you have, some of these parts will vary, but a lot of them have a very similar makeup. And all these pins, when you put them together, they're compression fittings. So this tip part, we're going to press it into the front pin tube. This cap over here, when we get it all done, we're going to press it into the rear pin tube. And the center band is just going to ride in the middle. We're also going to need to press this twist mechanism into the front, this end of the front pin tube. So all this is put together. We'll show you in the end how it's put together with compression connections. And that is the basic anatomy of a slimline pin. All right, let's go back and revisit pin kit instructions, because it's very, very important that you read these and you understand how to make your pin and then put it together. Here is my expression when I forget to follow my pin kit instructions. The instructions on these pin kits have basically 4 to 5 parts. One is going to talk about the key features of your pin, but more importantly, there's one called required accessories. And this one you want to pay attention to, because it's going to tell you the things that you're going to need to make the pin. One of the things it's going to talk about is the type of mandrel that you need. In this case, for the slimline pin kit, you need a 7mm mandrel. It's going to tell you which bushing you need for this pin kit. In this case, I needed 3 of the 7mm slimline bushings. These are all identical. Not every pin kit are the bushings identical, but you need to read the instructions to know which set of bushings that you need. Also, it's going to tell you which size drill bit you need for drilling the hole into the pin blanks. This is where you're going to put the pin tube, and we'll show you that a little bit later. Also, it tells you the size of the barrel trimmer. This is an important step here that we're going to show you later, but it tells you what size barrel trimmer that you're going to need. And then also it tells you the type of glue that you should use. And I'll always use medium CA. They make these in different viscosities, thin, thick, and medium. And I almost always use medium. Okay, another very important part of the pin kit instructions is what I call the mandrel diagram. And the mandrel diagram in the instructions is going to specifically tell you where to put the bushings and how to orient them with the blanks. In this case, the slimline has 3 identical bushings and pretty easy to follow, but that's not the case with every pin kit. Some bushings will be different, so you got to pay attention to where you put them and where you put your pin blanks on the mandrel. So you need to make sure that you read this section. Very, very important to get that. All right, and then finally, there's a section in there that talks about assembly. In this case, the slimline is pretty easy pin to put together. The first thing that you're going to do in the assembly is press this tip into one end of one of the barrels, and then you're going to press the twist mechanism up to a certain point in the other end, and then your center band just slides over the top of this. The next thing, according to the pin kit instructions, is you're going to put the cap, feed it onto the clip, feed the clip onto the cap, and press the cap into the other end of the upper barrel. Then you can put your ink refill in. In this case, it just screws into place, and the pin slides together. And again, it's a twist mechanism. Anyway, so that's really important. You want to make sure that you know the items that you need to make the pin, and you want to understand the pin mandrel diagram, where to put the blanks, where to put the bushings, and then finally, very important, is the order in which you assemble this pin and press the pieces together. All right, let me say something real briefly about pin kit platings. We've already talked about this a little bit, and matching the pin plating up with your wood blank that you're using. For the slimline kit, I guess the baseline pin platings are going to be 24 karat gold, as you see here, the brushed satin plating, and this is a black enamel plating. And there are some others. There's others that cost a little bit more, like antique brass, antique copper, and then the those are all, well, these three are comparably the same price, and they also, as far as their durability and everything. When you start going up to some of the other metal platings, the price of the pin kit will go up, especially if you go to something called ruthenium or titanium, and these are supposed to be the most durable as far as being tarnish proof and resisting scratching and staining. But I, for the most part, stick to these baseline pin platings, and they seem, at least for me, to last pretty well and endure pretty well. So just be aware of that. Go to your pin catalog and you can look at the different prices, and you can see these different platings and the colors that they have, and kind of make a judgment call on how they will match up with your pin blank. Okay guys, that wraps up the part 4 video. Hope you'll join me in part 5 coming up. We're going to be talking about pin blank preparation, and also wanted to mention again that I put the pin kit supplier list at the bottom of this video. There's a link at the bottom if you want to check that out. So thanks again for watching. Please subscribe.